meeting of the Koochiching County Board to order virtually. First item is to approve the agenda with any additions or deletions.
I do not have any additions or deletions.
Okay. Can we do one addition, Jenny, of adding the letter that I sent you yesterday for community services? Acknowledging that.
Oh, we sure could.
On number 6, I guess.
Okay.
Or actually, we can do it right after Kathy's update if you want. I think Kathy's on board.
Okay. All right.
I'll move with the addition, Mr. Chair.
Okay. I've got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik. Do I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Jason. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Okay, we'll do this by roll call. Pavlik?
Pavlik, yes.
McBride?
Aye.
Shobham?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Commissioner Ady, I don't want to goof you up here, but there was another addition I should have on the agenda. Maybe we could add it later on the governor's closing here further of houseboat and other recreational activities. It's we're looking at some real damage here to the businesses, so I think it deserves some discussion anyway.
Okay, we can bring that up along with number 3 when we're doing the discussions for opening the courthouse. How's that sound?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. You'll be okay with that as an addition?
Yep, I am.
Okay, Jason, you're okay with the second?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all. Chadwick? Aye. McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Troy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. All right. COVID-19 update. Kathy?
Good morning.
Morning.
As far as the most recent statistics for the state of Minnesota, there are 7,234 confirmed cases. 4,212 of those have recovered. There were 428 deaths. 396 people in the hospital, and of that 396, there's 166 in the ICU. There continues to be 6 counties within the state of Minnesota that have no confirmed cases, and we continue to just have the one confirmed case. Testing is going on in Koochiching County, but we have no further confirmed cases at this time. As far as the operations, we're continuing to operate as we have been. Things are going really well. We have good community support for how we've been conducting business, and we are working and talking a lot about the plan, how it's going to look when we start to reopen to the public. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Kathy?
Commissioner Ady.
Yes, Commissioner.
Kathy, as of yesterday, you see that there's nationwide and statewide, there is so much information coming out. It's mind-boggling. It's confusing. There was one that was thrown out yesterday by the New York Times that now they're saying there'll be 3,000 people a day dying in June. And of course, now it's been refuted as not being true. It was just a study that somebody threw out there. There's hundreds of studies being done. so many people out there trying to, stop or slow down any ideas of trying to get back to normalcy. It's so confusing and frustrating.
I think that, a lot of the information that we see as far as predictions and whatnot are based on models, and there's all different kinds of models that they use to try to predict what's going to happen. And of course, none of them are perfectly accurate. There's no way to predict exactly what's going to happen, and that's why things change, because the models change as new information is presented and they get to know more about the virus. So I think that the biggest thing is to not necessarily take all of those statistics at face value, but to recognize that this isn't over yet. It's not under control yet. There is Pfizer and a German pharmaceutical company are now starting to test a vaccine. It may be available for emergency use as soon as September. The increase in testing, with the goal of our governor to be at 5,000 tests a day, will really help predict what's going to happen. But at this point, they just are predictions. They aren't written in stone. They could change. They could change tomorrow. It is very confusing and very frustrating. But I think that the takeaway is just to be cautious and not, not try to just jump back in the way we were working before. I think that's all we can do.
It's a learning curve for everybody. Nobody's been through it before.
Right. We just need to proceed with caution, but not with fear.
All right. Thank you for that report, Kathy. And we added to the agenda a recognition for you and your agency from the Department of Human Services. I think you received a copy of it, or a CC of it, on your doing an excellent job over there in reporting. 32 major reports, and there was, I don't think there were anything that they were requiring of you, so I just want to say thanks to you and your department and all your hard work.
Thank you.
All right?
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
I would like to have just a formal motion of thank you and gratitude to County Health and Human Services for their good work and being recognized by the state of Minnesota and by the Minnesota Department of Health.
Okay. Along with that motion, do you maybe want to send a letter to the department?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay. Do you have a second to that?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Okay. We've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of tablet?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Boy?
Aye.
And aye. Motion carried. Thank you again, Kathy. Good job. Approved minutes, April 28th.
Move on the minutes, Mr. Chair.
I'll second.
Motion by Tobin. Where did that other one come from?
Hey, McBride.
Okay. Second by Commissioner McBride. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, tablet? Aye. McBride?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
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 And aye. Financial business.
Did we skip over number 3, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, we did. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, consider reopening the courthouse to the public. Jenny.
Mr. Chair, when the agenda was done, the stay-at-home order had not been extended yet. Had the governor not done the extension of the stay-at-home order, we would need to have some discussions about when, we're going to be reopen the courthouse to the public. At this point, with that stay-at-home order still in place until May 18th, there's nothing really to discuss at this point, but just to let the board know that I am working with the department directors to put a plan in place for what that will look like when the courthouse does reopen to the public. We're in the process of putting some safety measures in place, cleaning protocols, distancing. So I'll continue to work on that, and it'll be an ongoing project, I would think, in terms of what that plan looks like until we are actually ready to reopen to the public. At this point, it's with the stay-at-home order in place at least through May 18th, even having that stay-at-home place lifted, the recommendations that I'm seeing right now are still to stagger work hours, continue to have people work from home, limiting the number of people that are coming into the courthouse. And I think all of those things will stay in place even after that stay-at-home order has been lifted, but we are in the process of planning for that.
Okay. Any comments from the board?
Mr. Chair, this is McBride.
Yep.
Jen, so far in the last 6-8 weeks, how are we doing there? How is the departments? Everybody's holding up. Everything's going as good as possibly can be.
Yes, we had a department director meeting last Friday, and I was very pleased that all of the feedback that came back, everybody is in place, everything is working. We're continuing to provide the services that we've been provided before this stay-at-home order, and everything seems to be running quite smoothly. So I think kudos to the department directors and all of the staff for really jumping in and adjusting to the changes, adjusting to working at home. We have lots of employees that are working at home while their children are at home and homeschooling, and that is no easy task. And the work continues to get done, and it continues to get done very well. And so I think that we really need to give credit to all of the staff for that. I have not heard there hasn't been any major problems. We're working out some kinks, but Becky, the IT department went to work, and so everybody pitched in and did what they needed to do, and it seems to be working fine. There's a few wrinkles that we still need to work out, but for the most part, it's business as usual, just in a little bit different delivery method.
Okay. Thank you, Jen. Anybody else have any comments on that?
Well, Mr. Chair, it's working good for the county, but I'm here to tell you it's not working good for businesses. And what comes to mind, and the ones I've been contacted with the most lately, are the houseboat operations within the national park.
Yep.
And it keeps going week to week. They can't have plans, reservations. Now we're going to the 18th. That's a weekend of fishing. They have no way to recover from this. And, getting on a houseboat is a remote operation. I just, for the life of me, can't understand that. But all of our businesses are beginning to suffer, and greatly. So I think we need to take some position on this ourselves. How far are we going to go? This could go all summer, week to week. Nobody can plan. You can't have a business plan. It's going to destroy some of the critical businesses in our area. And I can tell you that these folks are very concerned.
100%. I concur with your statement. Last week we had discussion with the National Park, and they had started thinking about possibly some remote camping, some distance type camping, and nobody wants to go against the governor's orders, so they've kind of backed off. I see the BWCA now is not going to open up. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. I mean, you can't go camping, and anyway. Yes, I agree. Businesses are really starting to hurt now, and it's the big box stores are making millions and millions of dollars, and the small people are just getting pushed out. I don't know where we go.
Well, I mean, we're just one county, but we have a lot. We've got two of the big boat operations here. For example, I'm just using these as an example because that's what I'm getting the calls from right now. But I mean, maybe it's time for us to weigh in to the governor. I mean, the governor comes from a career in public life working for the government. I mean, it's a lot different when you're out here trying to make a living on your own. And I have a lot of empathy for these businesses right now. And to Brian's point, when you look at some of remote camping, I mean, I just cannot understand taking businesses down over that issue. I mean, they're not even in town here. I'm telling you, I mean, this is the prime time for these operations, and if they can't get rolling at the end of next week, I mean, I just can't sit by and see them destroyed without, at least having some better information or reasoning on why the governor is not bending on some of these. It's just my thought.
What are hotels and that doing right now?
I believe the hotels are open.
Kind of as usual?
Yes, but obviously there's not very many guests, but they are open.
Right.
I guess it's unless they have eating and drinking establishments looking, though, isn't it? Like the Thunderbird, for example. I mean, they're sitting there hurting too.
The only thing there is they can't eat indoors, right? In the restaurant itself.
Yeah, I think they're closed like all restaurants, as I understand it. But
they can pick up a meal and take to their room, right?
Yeah, that I don't know, Kevin.
Yeah,
I believe you're right on that, Commissioner.
I think that's what they're doing at American. They're able to pick up a meal and take it to their room, so because they're not allowed to eat in the restaurant, and of course not allowed to go in the bar.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
A sidelight on this is all of these self-employed people and small business owners that are having trouble, they're entering into a system that is run on the unemployment system, and when they file, who they file with doesn't seem to understand that they're different. So a lot of the self-employed people and a lot of the small business people are not getting any of this money coming back because of their businesses being closed down for 6 weeks. A lot of those have not received a penny yet from for their small business or self-employment.
The small business owners and that, they were able to file for unemployment though, right?
Well, it's not unemployment, and I kind of think from what they're saying is the people that they're sending it into don't understand it, and so they keep being delayed and delayed and delayed.
Okay.
And I believe also that they ran out of money money before they got those self-employed people. I wonder if that question was brought up with Congressman Stauber, that one day a lady brought it up, but I don't know if anyone's ever got an answer. Maybe we should send a question to his office and see if we can get a clarification on that.
I'll call the Workforce Center in Virginia. That's the one committee that I sit on, or one of the committees, and see what she says. But
Kevin, I think one of the people that are struggling here are that are self-employed, that work as independent contractors, and it's necessarily shut down, and they've got probably actually no place to file.
Yeah.
Well, there is a place to file, but where they file is a workforce center, which is used to taking care of unemployment forms. And this is a completely different process. I don't know if it's the there was the PPP, but that was more geared through the banks as a loan. So you can call them and ask them, Kevin, but I'd be very curious to hear what they have to say, and how many people have actually gotten any money out of the self-employment.
Yeah. Okay. I'll call and find out and try to send you guys a email and we'll have an answer, I guess. All right?
So, Commissioner, this is Commissioner McBride. Back to Commissioner Pavlik's thoughts. Wade, do you think we should send a letter to the governor just asking to take a look at this industry that is going to be really affected? All industries are being affected, but right now, our local industries up here are fishing, and outdoor industries are just left out in the cold.
That would certainly be my thought, Brian. I mean, a letter to the governor anyway. We're talking now about an industry that make their entire year's living in 4 months, and you take even 2 weeks off of that, and they're going to be hurting, let alone the summer. And the fact that we're just kind of going every week to 10 days, I mean, you can't plan. I just have a lot of empathy for these people, and at this rate, if nothing changes, we're going to destroy that industry up here, and we can't afford that. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and and all the industries too. I mean, you also got the restaurant industry and the small businesses and the bars. They do have all year to recoup that. Where these people only got 6 weeks, and they have to make their livelihood in 6 weeks.
Not only that, the other side of that is the fact that those operations are remote. I mean, they're not in the town or around people, and it's just frustrating to me that he keeps including that. And so I don't know. I don't think a letter would hurt, but I don't know what else we can do. We're kind of in a bind, and I can tell you certainly these operations are in a bind.
Is Perrin online?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perrin, do you know the governor is speaking again this Thursday? Has he given an update?
It's kind of scattered. He spoke yesterday. I would expect him to speak again today to talk about some. I want to say the topic was going to be dentist and elective surgery. Kathy could probably weigh in on that too. But he speaks pretty much every day, but not necessarily every Thursday. That makes sense.
Okay. Usually on Thursdays when he does his major announcements, whether where we're at so far with the shutdown. But
Commissioner McBride, he did say yesterday that he's going to be speaking today on some more specifics about some other businesses opening and conducting business. I did get the impression it was for elective surgeries and some dental stuff, but there may be other things with it. It sounded to me like he's going to be addressing those kinds of things most days so that it's clear as to what people can do. And I do know that I saw Rainy Lake Houseboats did put out a plan for how they were going to be conducting business and accepting people coming to get on houseboats and how they were going to operate. So I did see that plan from them.
The problem is now they can't operate under this closure. In fact, one of the phone calls I had last night. I guess I'm just wondering if anyone saw the MRC. Well, it is. If you read that, the MRC letter to the governor, I thought, maybe we could follow up with that. It's down towards the bottom on tourism, and it says as tourism season approaches, we support easing the travel restrictions and urge you, the governor, to give special consideration to resort service and Main Street businesses like barbershops, hair salons, bars, restaurants, and cafes in small towns, and resource areas across the state, while implementing all applicable recommended cautionary public health measures. I don't know if that's even strong enough for these businesses, but maybe that's a template we could follow up on and try to get more word to the governor. Yeah, we're going to be hurting here very badly.
That sounds like a motion.
Gladly, I'll make that motion.
I would second.
Okay, I've got a motion by Commissioner Pavlik, second by Commissioner McBride, to send a letter. And Wade, maybe I'll let you talk to Jenny later or something and get the specifics on that, how you want it worded. All right?
One quick comment, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
And Wade, you had talked about how one of the houseboat operations had started some guidelines how they're going to open up and everything. And what put the kibosh to that was the Park Service pulling out, not allowing camping because of the governor's order, and they're not going to go against the governor, and neither is the Federal Fish and Wildlife and the BWCA. So until the governor releases the Park Service, that's where our houseboats operate, they're not going to open up. So we need the governor to relax that camping.
Yeah, Kevin, I appreciate that, and I'd sure like to see it strongly worded. I mean, we're in a desperate situation here for these businesses. Anyway, so thank you for that.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Wade. Let's see. We did the minutes already, right?
We'll have to vote on it yet, Kevin.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Pavlik.
No, yes, I. No, there's no.
Yeah, we already got the motion and the second, so.
Yep.
Okay, Pavlik.
Aye.
McBride.
Aye.
Coble.
Aye.
Boy.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Okay. Now, financial business.
Hi, Mr. Chair. I will move on A and B.
Okay. Got a motion by Showbaum. Do I have a second?
Boy, aye.
Second by Skoy. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor, Pavlik?
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Showbaum?
Aye.
Skoy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Void of warrants. There's two of them. You want them to can we do those together, Jen?
Yes, we can do those together, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I'll move on both of those, Mr. Chair.
Got a motion by Showbaum. Have a second.
I trust Mr. Showbaum on that. I'll second it.
All right.
Thank you.
Second by Pavlik. Commission. And we had 2 donations.
I'll move on that as well, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I've got a motion by Shobram,
I'll second, Scoy.
second by Skoye. Any discussion? Let's see, those donations were ice and vending, $13.96 to the Sheriff's Coffee Fund. And the other one was Complete Count Committee for the 2020 census. All right.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to thank Jenny on the census donation and stuff. She wrote the grant and stuff, and it's been extremely helpful, and it's gonna get the word out there far and wide. So.
Yep. It'll help big time. So. Sure. Bringing that up.
Maybe Jenny could write a grant for Kevin there.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. We've got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Jenny, this is at 5,000. We were using some of that for advertising, or were we not?
That's correct. We're using it for advertising, and we're also have a mailing that's going to go out to all post office box holders. Hopefully sometime this week. The artwork was just finished up on that. We're doing some radio advertising and print advertising in all of the community newspapers and the Journal.
Just for the commissioners, public and the radio station would like to hear from other commissioners other than me. So have at it. we can set it up if you would volunteer to do a radio ad or two.
Yeah, I've been gonna call your daughter and schedule that. So.
I'm not pushing it because of that. I'm pushing because of we have these dollars, and our count is way down. I mean, we're only at 50-55%. So, and I know it's going to go to the end of the year, and COVID is affecting it, and it's going to affect our people that have to go house to house. So,
yeah,
we need to get people voluntarily to do their census.
Yeah, I've been trying to push it when I see somebody, and but hard to do when you're at a stay-at-home,
I'm just really, and I know Commissioner Pavic and being around and Commissioner Skoye too, especially from being out west, we're in real danger of losing a state rep and the congressman up here north.
Well, yeah, we can't afford to not have them, so.
I'm going to count my dog in my census just to go on.
Well, I got some deer I could count out here. We got about 10 of them. We call them our kids, so.
Well, Brian's point is well taken. I mean, we are on the verge of losing representation. That will not be good for us.
Yeah. All right. Have we done we did the donations, right?
We have a motion, first and a second. Shoblam first, Skoye seconded. We have not voted.
We need to vote. Okay. Pavic.
Aye.
Brian.
Aye.
Shoblam.
Aye.
Skoye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Hey, sheriff business. Aaron.
All right. We have I submitted an RBA for the purchase of a portable data network for a CDN to assist in communication should any of our networks become overwhelmed. It essentially acts as a hotspot. Several users can connect to it. We applied for a grant through the ATI, which I know Commissioner Shoblam is very familiar with. And we received that as a 50-50 match. So we were awarded purchase. And thankfully, we can use in-kind expenses, so we're looking at a out-of-pocket cost of approximately somewhere around $520. I submitted all the documents, hopefully everyone's had a chance to look at them.
Looks like a good grant, Darren. Thank you for that.
Yeah, and it was, Willie did a lot of work researching it, had a lot of conversation. This is something we've had our eye on for some time. We experienced some issues when we had the Ericksburg rail fire a number of years ago. We experienced communication issues out there that cell tower became overwhelmed, so that was a highlight to us. So we thought this was a good opportunity to acquire the equipment.
Okay. Wishes of the board?
Question for the sheriff. Darren, this will work in some areas if you get into a dead zone, that you'd be able to get service?
Yeah, we still have to be able to. It still has to be able to connect to the Verizon network, but as long as we can get a signal off that Verizon tower, then we can essentially amplify it to several users. So like in the Ericksburg, the tower was there, we could connect to it, but the tower itself was becoming overwhelmed. It couldn't handle the traffic. This will work where it's, you can just have more users on the network.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the CN rail derailment out there at Ericksburg. As I recall, we had some problems too. Big incident.
Okay, wishes of the board?
Move.
Motion by Bride, second by Pavlik. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Pavlik?
Aye.
Bride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Boy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Perrin. Highway business. Dave?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, I can hear you.
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, what I have here is I need a resolution from the county board for a detour agreement with MnDOT, and it's agreement number 1036895. And basically, it's a detour for the Highway 53 traffic on a number of different facade roads in both 20 and 21 construction season. And these include Casad 45, 7, 24, 47, 332, and 155. And the state will be reimbursing us approximately $20,000 for this. So I'd like to get this resolution passed. The one thing I did ask them, I think there were some concerns about the signage, that they take down the signage. They will not be doing that. So the signs will be left in place. I also furnished a copy of the detour plans that MnDOT has provided. So for your information, if you want to know when the detours will be in place.
Dave, this is Wade. With all the detours into residential areas, I mean, is there notices or things to send out to families? Because children are normally playing out there and stuff during the summer. And all of a sudden there's going to be quite a bit of traffic. Is that a concern we should have, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it should be a concern, and I think that the maps that MnDOT provided would be the information we need to get out there. I don't know if anybody has seen those, but if you look in 2020, the detours aren't that long. I mean, we're talking a month and a half or something like that, or less. So I don't know exactly how to do that, but we could get a mailing list, and for those property owners along those routes, we could send that out.
that what you were looking at, Wade?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't, if that's not practical, I mean, even notices on the media, the radio, something like that for these homeowners to beware and make sure that the children are protected was my thought. That's all I'm saying. You know, just from growing up there in Bryan too, you know, the kids, guess what they use for the playground? the road quite a bit, which, you know, isn't good either, but that's what I see a lot. And I just don't want anyone getting hurt. But you know, I'm fine with whatever you think there, Dave.
Yeah, I guess I'm open to whatever you suggest. I think that's right. We could do, you know, a couple of radio announcements. I don't know what MnDOT has in mind, if anything. I can reach out and see what that would be a good point. I'll reach out to MnDOT and see how they are going to advertise these detours.
Great. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, so should I read the resolution and then you guys can vote on it?
Sure.
Be it resolved that Koochiching County enters into MnDOT agreement number 1036895 with the state of Minnesota Department of Transportation for the following purposes. Provide for payment by the state to the county for the use and maintenance of county state aid highways number 45, 7, 24, 47, and 332 and 155 as a detour route during the construction to be performed upon, along, and adjacent to Trunk Highway number 53 from 1,000 feet south of Casad 7 to 300 feet north of 2nd Avenue under State Project number 3608-48, and further that the county engineer and the county attorney are authorized to execute this agreement and any amendments on behalf of Koochiching County.
I'll move, Mr. Chair.
Okay, I've got a motion by Pavlik.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Second by Shobon. Do you have a starting date on that, Dave?
Yeah, if you look at the handouts that I had, I mean, basically it starts the first part of July, and there's a number of different stages, so it is confusing. But basically, it starts July 1st and runs through
October 17th, Dave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may, it's stage 1A and stage 1B. They run from 17th Street probably to 17th Street, no, 20th Street down to 15th. So it's only about 4 blocks this year.
Okay. Any further discussion?
There's one other question, Dave. Are there going to be periods where businesses are not accessible then on the highway because of the construction?
We were told no. They're trying to get alternate methods for them to get through the back alleyways where possible. But you know, there'll be some road closings, but you know they'll have a workaround for those. You might have to go down the block, turn around, and come back in through the alley or something like that. But it was, it was brought up a number of times how these businesses need to have some access.
Good. Thank you.
All right. Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair and Wade, the city's been working real hard, even starting last year with making sure that these businesses have access and require that they have access. So I think there may be a little inconvenient, but I think people can still get to them. So.
Great.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that a little, Jason. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, Pavlik?
Aye.
McBride?
Aye.
Sobel?
Aye.
Roy?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. All right.
Commissioners, one other thing that was asked
meeting about when the lighting project on Highway 11 was going to be installed, and I heard back that that will be in place by this fall. So it'll be sort of the end of the construction season. That would be on facade 20 and 23, I believe, along Highway 11.
Okay, thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll ask for public comment. If there's anyone here for public comment. Okay, hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Moved.
Motion by Pavlik,
Second.
second by Schobel. All in favor, Pavlik?
Aye.
Bragg?
Aye.